Hey guys, Jonathan was out here for JM Sports 100, the JM Sports Show. How is it going? I'm here to make college football picks for Saturday, October 8th, 2016. And it is week 6 in the 2016 college football season. And we are off to a bit of an uncharacteristic start for us. Um, so we will see what we can do to try to repair that. But uncharacteristic, I mean, we're not doing bad, definitely. Very pleased with the way the record is. We are 5-2 so far on the week. I have made all the picks from Wednesday through Friday on Twitter and on Facebook, so go ahead and check those out for verification if you want. We lost on Wednesday in the one game. Arkansas State beat Georgia Southern 27-26. So we lost that one. And then on Thursday, we had Memphis beating Temple. They did that 34-27. We also said Western Kentucky would beat Louisiana Tech. It was a shootout there. 55-52 Western Kentucky lost, so we took the loss there. So those were our two losses so far this week. So our two losses were by a combined total of 4 points. Can't really complain too much about that there, I guess. And then in the games on Friday, we had Clemson beating Boston College. They did that 56-10. We had Boise State beating New Mexico. They did that 49-21. The Tulane UCF game was postponed due to the horrific hurricane weather in Florida. SMU and Tulsa, we had Tulsa, and they won that 43-40 in overtime. Exciting game there. We also had Old Dominion beating UMass, and they did that 36-16. So, plus on top of all that, we are coming off of a week last week in week 5 that saw us go 47-16, including 44-15 on Saturday, which would have been the 1st of October. So, with all of that, we have a record so far this year of 283-70, 3,736 wins, 1,215 losses is the lifetime record. Now there's one game. There was one other game that was postponed. Obviously, LSU Florida was postponed from this weekend, and then there were a couple games that are taking place on Monday and on Sunday as well. Rather, excuse me. Charlotte and Florida Atlantic, and Georgia and South Carolina. Of course, Carolina and of course Florida getting hit by that all the nasty weather from the hurricane. If you are in the path of Hurricane Matthew, if you are going through all that, please be safe. Um, I have a friend that used to live down in Florida. I'm so glad that they're not there presently. And please, everybody, just be safe and know that you are in all of our thoughts and prayers as you go through this difficult weather period. So, let's get to the picks for today for Saturday, the 8th of October. Cincinnati and Connecticut is first up. We have Cincinnati, East Carolina, and South Florida. I'm going to go with South Florida. TCU and Kansas. Give me TCU. Texas and 20th ranked Oklahoma. I'm going to go with Oklahoma here. I don't think Texas is not in a very good spot right now. Okay, defensively, Texas is a mess, and Charlie Strong is a defensive guy. That Texas thing is not working out. Um, I don't think Charlie Strong gets moved mid-season, but I don't know that he will be back next year. I think Mayfield and Oklahoma going to be too much for Texas. I've got the Sooners getting the win. Iowa and Minnesota. I didn't know who to pick in this game. Honestly, it feels just like a coin flip. To be honest, Iowa needs to turn things around. Obviously, Minnesota's not a bad team either. I am going to go with Iowa to get the win. However, Maryland and Penn State, I am going to go with Penn State. Southern Miss and UTSA, give me Southern Miss. Auburn and Mississippi State, I am going to go with Auburn. I think Auburn's offense is going to be a little bit too much for Mississippi State's defense. Notre Dame and North Carolina State, I think Notre Dame's in for another tough game on the road in Raleigh. I am going to go with Notre Dame to get a very close win. Georgia Tech and Pittsburgh, I am going to go with Pittsburgh. Bowling Green in Ohio, give me Ohio. Miami of Ohio takes on Akron. I'm going to go with Akron. Toledo in Eastern Michigan, give me Toledo. Number 6, Houston takes on Navy, and I'm going to go with Houston. Iowa State and Oklahoma State, give me Oklahoma State. 25th ranked Virginia Tech, 17th ranked North Carolina. I'm a little iffy on where to go here. I think North Carolina is going to win a close game in Chapel Hill. Obviously, coming off of a big upset win last week against Florida State. They could come out a little flat. So, like I said, I think this game is going to be really close. but I do think North Carolina gets the win in the end. Indiana and second-ranked Ohio State with the Buckeyes. Purdue takes on Illinois. I'm going to go with Illinois. Texas State and Georgia State. I am going to go with Georgia State. I know that Georgia State has not played well this year, but I am going to go with them. Kent State and Buffalo. I am going to go with Kent State. Ball State and Central Michigan. Central Michigan coming off of a embarrassing loss to Western Michigan last week. I think they bounce back pretty well and get a win. Air Force and Wyoming. I am going to go with Air Force. Number 9, Tennessee, and number 8, Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M wins this game. I think it's a very close game, but I think the one thing, and it's amazing, and we've seen it out of Tennessee week after week now, is they can't get going in the first quarter, and then they fall way behind in these games, and they're coming up to a stretch now where they can't afford to do that. I don't think they can afford to fall down, to fall multiple touchdowns or multiple scores even to Texas A&M early ever, especially in College Station. I think it is a close game, but I do think Texas A&M is better. I've got them getting the win. Army takes on Duke. I am going to go with Duke. BYU and Michigan State. I am going to go with Michigan State, but I don't feel that comfortable about it. BYU is just one of those teams that are scrappy. They aren't winning a lot of games, but they're scrappy. Vanderbilt takes on Kentucky. I am reluctantly going to go with Vandy. 21st ranked Colorado takes on USC. I'm actually a little bit intrigued by this game here. I am going to call for an upset. Colorado is a great story. Okay, and they've done some great stuff. They got the win against Oregon. That was huge. I think USC is going to be a bit too much for them at the Coliseum. If this game was in Colorado, I think Colorado would win this game potentially, but it's not. It's on the road. It's at the Coliseum. I think Colorado will make a game of it, but I have USC getting the upset win. Hawaii takes on San Jose State. I'm going to go with San Jose State. I don't even know how Hawaii is still standing, to be completely honest with you, with everything they've been through, all the traveling that they've done this year, but they are. I do have San Jose State to get the win, though. Northern Illinois and Western Michigan. I've got Western Michigan to continue to play well, continue to roll, and beat Northern Illinois. Marshall takes on North Texas, and I'm going to go with Marshall. Fresno State takes on Nevada. I'm going to go with Nevada. Number 1, Alabama. Number 16, Arkansas. I am on this game because Alabama is going to lose within the next couple weeks. Okay, there's a pretty good chance they are. Could it beat Arkansas? Arkansas is this team that just gives Alabama fits. I don't feel comfortable about it. The Tide, I'm going to go with the Tide to get the win, but the Tide have not done much to impress me this season. They don't really have that punchy in the mouth win, except for against the USC team that's kind of a grease fire. Idaho takes on Louisiana Monroe, and I'm going to go with Louisiana Monroe. Number 4, Michigan takes on Rutgers, and I'm going to go with Michigan. Texas Tech and Kansas State, I am going to go with Kansas State. Syracuse and Wake Forest, give me Wake Forest. Number 5, Washington takes on Oregon. I know Washington is coming out as their a good team. They're coming off a big time win against Stanford, big upset win that really pole vaulted them in the polls up to 5th. However, I don't think they'll come out very flat. I think they've had a little extra time to let that win soak in. They'll have had over a week to let that win soak in, and Oregon just continues to get worse. They continue to go downhill. Washington wins this game, I think, and they could potentially do it going away. Florida International takes on UTEP, and I am going to go with Florida International in that game. Florida State, 23rd ranked Florida State takes on 10th ranked Miami. I'm going to go with the Canes here. Florida State does not impress me. I think this game is going to be hard nosed. I think this game is going to be close. Delvin Cook needs to have a big game if Florida State wants to win this thing. I don't think they do. I don't love this Florida State team. And I've got that same friend that I talked about earlier in the video is a big time Noles fan, and things just seem to go a lot easier for me when the Noles lose. So, Cal takes on Oregon State, and I'm going to go with Cal. Arizona and 24th ranked Utah, I'm going to go with Utah. Utah State takes on Colorado State, and I'm going to go with Utah State in that game. I don't feel great about it, but that's where I'm going. UNLV takes on San Diego State, and I'm going to go with San Diego State. UCLA takes on Arizona State, and I'm going to go with UCLA in that game. Washington State takes on Stanford. I think Stanford is a nice bounce back after that big time loss last week. Um, Now the games that will take place on Sunday. Charlotte takes on Florida Atlantic. I think Florida Atlantic gets the win. And Georgia takes on South Carolina. Georgia is in big need of a win here after a couple of tough losses, especially the heartbreak loss to Tennessee on the Hail Mary last week. I think Georgia goes on the road to Columbia and gets the win. So, alright, guys, that is going to do it for me. I am Jonathan Millsap for JM Sports 100, the JM Sports Show. Don't forget to like the JM Sports Show page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Links, as always, are down in the description. And for those of you who are interested in NFL picks, they will be posted on the Facebook page on Sunday morning. And I will return to videos for that next week. So, until next time, until then, I am Jonathan Millsap for JM Sports 100, the JM Sports Show once again. And I will see you guys later.